Yeah. Welcome to the Nintendo Show, episode 54. I'm your co-host, Devin Moon, and with me as always, making the magic happen behind the scenes, Pain. Trev, how you
Dude,
doing?
oh man, it's Sunday. It's Sunday night. We're making this happen.
Like, yeah, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Uh, this week is exciting. We got the Game Awards. They have spoken of what is the best game of the year. Are they right? We don't know. We'll see. Also, we have fan questions coming in. We got GameStop. How would we run GameStop? And what's going on with Doom on the Switch? Huh? What's up with that? And as usual, if we're nothing without you guys, remember, listener, if you want to be part of the show, visit our website at nintendoshow.com or watch us live on Twitch right here and send your comments right on this stream. Um, that's it, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into the first piece of goodness. Mr. Miyamoto is gone again. Off on holiday, it seems like, Trev. It seems like Nintendo is done, had a break. So, I mean, they launched a Zelda game, so that's something.
That's
That
true.
is definitely something.
But I miss that man. I miss him. I miss him with his he rolls up in his USPS Nintendo style bus van thing, dropping off some news. And I haven't seen him for a while. I'm getting lonely. I have his Christmas present. You just got to stop on by. I'll hook him up. I'll hook him up.
Come on, man.
Jeez.
We got gifts.
Someone put out the bat signal, the Miyamoto signal.
The Miyamoto, giant Mario face.
Our newsman.
Trev, what have you been playing, man? What are you up to these days?
Oh man, so many different things, but I think the one I wanted to kind of highlight today is this little gem, Hyrule Warriors. This came out, Age of Calamity. This is finally a new game where we've been talking about how we've been wanting, a really good, first party exclusive title from Nintendo, and they did launch a game. Now, I don't know if I would say it's like the best game, but I am having a lot of fun with it. Devin, did you play the original Hyrule Warriors, right?
Parts of it. I think in a demo on the Wii U. I've never actually played the full game. I definitely have dipped my toes into the Dynasty Warriors series with my buddies back on the day on the Xbox 360.
Cool.
So I understand it.
Well, first of all, don't dip your toes into this. I mean, that's just gross. That's like your own weird thing. But no, the cool thing with this. So this is I don't know. This is what are the Dynasty Warriors games with a Zelda skin on it, basically. But then I feel the thing with this iteration of the Dynasty Warriors Muso type games that they do such a good job paying tribute and just fanfare to fans of Breath of the Wild. They do such a good job with adding so many different little things throughout the gameplay and little elements of whether it's cooking or different things that you would find in Breath of the Wild actually in this game, and it's really cool. One of the things I really enjoy is the art style. So as you can see, it looks so similar to Breath of the Wild. Obviously, it's more hacky slashy. You're taking out hundreds of guys all in one go, but it really is a blast. If you've ever played those games, I would say go check out a demo for everybody listening, because there is a demo on there that you can play, and your progress carries over, which is really cool that Nintendo did that. With this game, though, it's not much new. It's a lot of the same, run around this vast battlefield, slashing up a bunch of baddies, switching between characters. But the thing that I really like is that they do tell a story about kind of what happened before the crazy Calamity and the events of Breath of the Wild, and I think it's pretty cool. I don't know how in-depth it will be. I'm only a couple hours into it, so I'm excited to see where it goes, but I'm intrigued. I'm having fun. The voice acting's not amazing, but there is some. I do dig it. And I think the main thing that's drawing me in is the fact that it's Zelda with this awesome Breath of the Wild art style. The downside with it, though, dude, it's showing the Switch's age a little bit. There's a lot of pop in, and you don't see the stuff far away is super blurry. Honestly, especially coming from playing on the Series X lately, I whenever I play the Switch, and if it's out of the handheld mode, I really look at those graphics and I kind of starting to struggle a little bit. I'm like, man, this is it's feeling pretty old at this point. I want some new shinies, but that's Nintendo for you. So I don't know, what questions do you have, dude?
Dude, so it's chugging along. Looks like a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm trying
there's
to think.
moments that it struggles, especially if you play split screen. It gets like 10 frames a second sometimes. Like there's some really
Ooh, ouch.
struggle moments that are pretty rough. But each character feels very unique and has a very unique skill set. Impa is like my favorite, especially to see like young Impa, like because you're
Yeah,
used to her
she's
being
cool.
the old lady in Breath of the Wild and whatnot, but she is
Yeah.
baller in this game. It is awesome.
Yeah, she has some cool moves. So the story is it interesting you enough?
Yeah,
My worry is that this is not really gonna like pull me in all the way. Like I've heard some reviews that I'm like, oh no.
yeah, yeah.
Like the story is not like it doesn't end the way I want it to. Like I think GameStop had a problem with it, and maybe
GameSpot.
even GameSpot. Sorry. Hey, get your name
Yeah,
fixed.
they
You know
need to
what I mean?
fix that.
That's
Uh,
on you. That's not on me. That's on you.
the crazy
Uh,
thing is like a lot of
yeah.
outlets are like they're kind of wide as far as like the score range.
Where?
Like
Yeah,
IGN's giving it
everywhere.
a 9 and GameSpot gave it a 6, and like very
Uh-huh.
different thoughts on these games. And maybe it just comes down to, do you like this style of gameplay? Do you like the Hyrule or sorry, Dynasty Warriors style of
Yeah.
gameplay? And if you do, then hey, you're gonna like it. And if not, then this is definitely not your game. So far, the
Yeah.
story though, I am having fun with it. I really think it is fun, but I've heard a lot of complaints that it doesn't pay off. It doesn't have the courage to actually
Yeah.
finish and tell like a real story that sticks, And so
Yep.
I'm worried about that. But hey, I'm already invested in it, so I will be spending a bunch of time
Yep.
diving in.
Gotta keep going.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna give it some more time, but it has been a blast. I've really been enjoying it. I think
That's
the
good.
fact that Nintendo lets a whole nother development team play around with their IP, their properties like Zelda, especially Zelda, I think is kind of
Yeah.
cool that at least they loosen the reins a little bit. And I think this developer, they've proved themselves with the first one, because that one was fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can't say that this style of game is my absolute favorite. So honestly,
Yeah.
I wish they would have given it to someone else and do a different style of game.
Yeah,
But hey, this is what
exactly.
we got, so let's roll with it, right?
Yeah, I think I think this style works like for the idea, like it's the big war, the big battle. But again, I just wish it was a little more. Like I wish the fighting like was a little more Dark Soulsy in some way,
Oh,
meaning
totally.
that I wish like every battle was like had meaning instead of like thousands of people just fly and like they just sit there and they look at you and you're like, no one's even attacking me. This
Yeah.
is so easy, and those it's stuff like that where I'm like, I just wish there was a little bit more challenge. I like battles that really have like it feels like I'm really doing a lot of damage or actually feel like I'm getting hurt back, a lot of good back and
Yeah.
forth. And I
Y-
feel like these games miss the back and forth a little bit.
Oh,
You
they
feel
totally
too
do.
superhero.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
you are. This is a power fantasy of, hey,
Yeah.
I'm Superman coming in and wrecking shop.
Yeah.
But there are some of like the bigger monsters and bosses and things like that. There is more challenge. There's a lot of like timing for dodging, and so you can open up with a
Yeah.
flurry attack or whatever. I would love, the more I kept playing this, the more, and the fact that you brought up Dark Souls, right? I just
Oh
kept
yeah.
thinking, I'm like, how sick would it be if From Software, like, had
Yeah.
the option to make like this in this Zelda universe, some type of Souls game. Like, I don't know.
I
I think
know.
that would be my absolute favorite. And
Yeah.
they don't have to make it crazy dark and whatnot. Like, it can still be very
No.
light, and even this art style. But like, I feel like that type of gameplay would be so much fun for the Zelda franchise. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't say like rush out and get this game.
Get it. Yeah,
uh
that's kind of where I was at. I was like, I could, but I don't know. I think I'll just wait for the digital sell.
yeah.
I'm sure it'll be 40 eventually. I mean, it takes a while for Nintendo to get there, but they have been doing that more often. So
hmm
I think I'll wait to that.
We'll wait for a sell,
And
and even let's say wait for like a physical sell, like, because the retailers are gonna
exactly.
drop it. It's gonna go on sale eventually. So just
Yeah.
give it some time. That would be my recommendation. I wouldn't rush out right now because I'm having fun with it. Would I return it if I could? Yeah, probably.
As soon as the story's done, it's
Yeah.
going to GameStop, not
Uh,
GameSpot.
oh, that's awesome. Well, what have you been playing, Dev?
Dude, I am playing more VR stuff. I know it's not a Nintendo, but Tetris Effect is blowing my mind,
Oh
people.
boy, this game.
Dude, this game is who
Something
knew
else.
Tetris had so many like possibilities, you know? This is so good. Like it's a battle royale, and now it's like some crazy music. This is what drugs feel like, I imagine. Don't take drugs, but I tell you what,
This is what it would
it's
be.
it's pretty dang close. It's got to be, right? This is an acid trip, man, and it is so fun. The music is great. You got it's Tetris, but like visuals that are with the VR experience, and the visuals here are just outstanding, and the music is so like spot on. Like as you play the Tetris pieces, it goes with the beat somehow, and the music is being made with the Tetris, and then it kind of adds and builds and builds. It is tough sometimes. I mean, I'm an okay Tetris player, but man, every time I see my rating, I'm like, I'm not that good, I guess, huh? I'm real bad.
You're not hanging?
I get, I'm getting like a D. I'm like, yikes! I need to step on my game up or something. And the battle royale, when I'm like, I do okay, I get to like the 10, like top 10, but man, I'm not doing great here. But it's really fun, really digging it. It's very like zen, very. I think the creator is the creator the guy that did, can't remember, the one that you're flying around.
Yeah,
REX,
the
Rez,
Res.
Rez.
I
Yeah,
believe so. Um,
yeah. I think it's the Rez guy.
oh boy, it's good.
So he's a dude that, yeah, he's the guy that, and I don't know if he did Flower too, but the guy that does like the music. He's known for his music entertainment with his video games. So he's spot on. This is some of the most fun I've had with Tetris in a while. If you guys have the opportunity to play it in VR, definitely. It's on Xbox also,
Mm-hmm.
just barely came out on the Xbox Series X. So I think it would even be worth it without VR, because VR is cool because you're in it a little bit, but this game's not like pushing you into the screen too much. You're
Mm-hmm.
still kind of like looking at a Tetris board. So I think this game would be great just with a good sound system, dude. I think if you got a good mute, like just some good beats, some good earphones, I think you'd be totally down for this. If you love Tetris, if you love music, especially like world music, what is that crap called, Trev? Earth music? I don't know.
Sure, I don't
Uh,
know.
I don't know what they classify it. They classify it some way. I think it's world. Anyways, it's really cool. Check it out, man. Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So this game, I've been playing it a ton. So I played it originally in VR, and it is incredible. Like it is one of my favorite VR games, just because you're so immersed by like all these
Yeah.
effects going on. I swear, this is like my Zen game. This is my meditation. I seriously will play for hours and just be like locked in. Like
Yeah.
I'm not missing a beat. But I've been recently playing it on Xbox, and it is solid. Like they needed to just release this game on the Switch as well, because
Yeah.
it is such a beautiful game. On Xbox, it's great. They've added this really cool multiplayer mode where you actually get to like come together, and it like combines all of three people's boards together, and you guys are working in co-op, and it matches with the
Oh,
music where it's
interesting.
just this like amazing moment that almost it gave me chills. Like it was like such a cool like
That's awesome.
emotional moment. So
Yeah.
I would definitely say, check this game out. Whether you have VR or not, it is a spectacular game. Don't sit on this one. It is so
Dude,
good.
and this would be a great Switch game. You're right. Like I think Tetris at all
I
would
mean,
be a great
yeah,
Nintendo game. But yeah, dude, it's a shoe-in. I love this game. It's so good.
yep.
So yeah.
Good pick, Dev. That's such a
Beautiful,
good one.
beautiful. Yeah, dude, I'm just going to my back catalog and I'm loving it. I'm loving it over here. I'm chilling with games that are like years old. Trev's all
Just
in the
hanging.
new era. I'm all
Hey,
hanging in.
it's all gravy,
I'm
baby.
gonna stay, man. I'm gonna stay.
You're
Uh,
committed.
the fan questions, Trav. Let's hop into them.
Let's do it.
Awards board asked, with Game Awards selecting their nominations for Game of the Year, do you think Animal Crossing has a chance of winning the coveted award? Also, will we see Breath of the Wild 2 at the awards? Are we thinking, as far as what we see here? Here are the nominations, by the way, if I can pull those bad boys
Yeah,
up.
do it. Bring them.
Animal Crossing is definitely on the list, and this thing is slow as molds. Here it goes. The Game Awards site, is too fancy for its own good. You know when you go to those sites that you're like, it's too fancy.
They
Like
got
you
too
don't need to
much
be
going
this
on.
classy.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much. So my bad internet can't get to it. We got Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and Animal Crossing New Horizons, and Last of Us Part 2. These are the games they've decided to go on. Out of all those games, Trev, is Animal Crossing your game of the year? Looking
No.
at all those?
I
Okay.
I think it's definitely a
Why
contender.
not you, traitor?
I
Why not you,
I
traitor?
know I'm the worst. What the freak, man?
This
Uh,
is the Nintendo show, sir.
Jeez. No, so it's so good. Like it really is so good, and I spent a lot of time like really diving into it. And this honestly is like a cultural touch to, whatever moment, because
Yeah.
so many people bought this game and played it. So I really think it does have a chance. I just can't say it is my my top fave out of this list. I don't
Yeah.
know what would you pick, Dev, if you were to pick one off this list.
So yeah, see, that's what I'm like, what am I holding on to here? I haven't played any of these, Trev. I'm like 2 years behind over here. Hades is the only one I've really played. From what I hear, Last of Us 2 kind of disappoints some people. I know why, because I saw that on accident.
Oh shoot, you did?
Spoilers.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh no,
Yeah.
Dev.
That's okay. My dad has my PlayStation. I'm not expecting it for a while. And the other ones, like Final 7, yeah, 7 Remake. I don't know, dude. If
I
I was to go through these, I think Hades would be for me, but like I totally could see why people would choose Last of Us Part 2 or even Ghost. But what about you? What's hanging on there for you?
For me there's two. Definitely Hades is up there. Like I think that just as a pure just joy of a game, that is like the
Yeah.
game I think I've just been so locked into, and like I got to do another run. Just another run right before bed.
Yeah, dude.
It is
So
so
good.
fun, and like the gameplay is so solid. The storytelling, I really think this is just a masterpiece of a game. So I'd probably
Yeah.
say that, but then also Final Fantasy 7, the
Yeah.
remake. I recently just finished that, Dev, and it is magical. Like that game, I didn't even really like the original that much. Like I played it,
Yeah.
I wasn't really on board, but this one has pulled me in. It is beautiful. The gameplay is fun. The storytelling is great. The voice acting surprisingly is pretty good. Like I enjoy it.
Spot on.
Yeah, like
Cool.
I really enjoyed. I think I might be leaning that direction, to be
Okay.
honest, out of the two. But one of those two, definitely. But I think they're going to talk about some Animal Crossing because I think it needs
Yeah.
some props for sure.
I think it could win actually, just because from the people that I watch that,
Oh, sure.
are all people that have voted for this kind of stuff. They love that freaking Animal Crossing. They
Hmm.
love New Horizons. They thought uh and it and just that it was so talked about this year. It reminds me very much of like Pokemon Go.
Kind of in the
When that
zeitgeist of everything.
Yeah, very zeitgeisty of that year. It feels like Animal Crossing New Horizons hit this year in a special way. And I feel like people might use that as a way to be like, yeah, this game deserves it. But it's very rare that you see a game like that, Animal Crossing, in the game. First off, even talked about for
Right.
Game of the Year,
Right.
just because it's usually these hard hitting, story driven, emotional, want to cry freaking games that make it to the winner, is usually in the winner category.
Right.
So for me, I could see it happening for Animal Crossing just because of the zeitgeist of it all. Mostly, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But for me, it wouldn't be. I like that game. I enjoyed it, but it's just not a game for me, and it never
Sure.
has been. And so, I understand why people love it. I get it, and this is awards for everybody, so I could see it winning. But that's me. He also asked Trev, uh, "Do you think this year at the Game Awards we will be seeing Breath of the Wild 2? Do you think this will be happening?" As we know, Breath of the Wild was shown at the Game Awards way back when. It was a big thing. Everyone was very, very pumped. We got to see I don't know if it was the first trailer. I think it was the first trailer where he shoots his bow in slow motion. And then later the next year, I think we even saw the open world gameplay, I think, at least something like that. Do you foresee a Breath of the Wild 2 coming to the Game Awards this year in December?
I'm
I mean,
willing to bet on it, Dev. Like, I think
I think so too.
I really think so, and I think this game is coming out next year. I'm pretty sure. Like, I feel confident saying that. And I also think Jeff Keighley, who runs the whatever this is, the Game Year whatever show
Awards. Yeah.
awards. Yeah, real hard name for me to remember.
No, it's very forgettable.
I have it on the screen too.
We're professional.
Yeah, real good. But I think he knows how to like solidify some deals. Like, he knows how to do it. He's done it before. I think he needs this to be a big deal. So I think he's talking to Nintendo. I think they've already have something all ready to go. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more Breath of the Wild action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. It's going to happen, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take that one in the bank.
Yep.
When me and Trevor are watching the Game Awards together, if that does happen, we will be seeing Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's going to be popping right up on that screen, and it's going to be gorgeous. Trevor and I will streaming tears.
Oh yeah,
Streaming. I tell
mean,
you.
you could waterfall down these bad boys.
Yep. Yeah. I just because of Keeley's connection with Nintendo in the past, and also Nintendo likes to do things sometimes in a pattern. I know sometimes they don't, which is kind of weird for me to say, but there are some patterns that they usually do. Game Awards, it seems to be a pattern that they usually keep with.
Yeah.
And I can see definitely Breath of the Wild 2 being one of those things. They might be holding off, for any direct or anything until then. So just so you know, it might be no Miyamoto for a while. Just so you know, just hold on to your butts, everybody. Popping Pop asks, I'm old. Oh, hold on. He's old school. I'm old school, and I love physical copies and going to my nearest game store. But with these stores seemingly going away, what would you do to keep them around? So Trev, you are the lead honcho at GameStop or whatever the frick, mom and pop.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay relevant?
Yeah,
these hard times.
We know I am, so
yes,
I'm just gonna let you know what my plan is. To keep this thing afloat. It's hard. It's hard because a lot of our hobbies, right, or at least my hobbies. Okay, so video games, comic books, they're very much rooted in like physical media. And video games has now changed a ton. Same with comic books; they've gone very digital. Obviously, you can get hard copies and things like that, but what I've seen that like my local comic book shop has done to stay relevant is have a lot of community days, community events, things like that. Now, COVID time, it's tough right now. Like, I get that.
COVID time.
And hopefully, that changes. But if we weren't in a pandemic and whatnot, I would make sure that we have lots of community type events where we're getting people together physically, they're gaming together, having events together, having prizes, doing stuff like where people actually physically have to get together. And that will encourage people to buy crap. It'll encourage people to buy little tchotchkes, little bobbleheads, little Funko Pops, you know what I mean? And I think they've tried to some extent, some of the little smaller shops, at least what I've seen. But the other thing that I would do is it's kind of what Microsoft has done with GameStop is, hey, you sell and promote our consoles. We'll give you a slice. We'll give you a cut. So did you hear about that news, Dev?
Not really.
Yeah. So
what is it? What's the news?
Microsoft partnered up with GameStop. And GameStop, they'll be using Microsoft products like Surfaces and things like that to sell stuff. And they get a commission off of every Xbox sold, obviously. But any digital software that's bought through that console that was sold through GameStop, they will get a constant little percentage cut of each game bought, whether it's digital or through their store, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. So I buy my console at GameStop, come home, plug it in, do my thing, and I'm buying all my games digitally. GameStop, since they sold me and that serial number is tied to them, that they sold it, they get a small cut of this. Okay. Now, I don't know what that cut is. I don't know if it's enough to save GameStop, but I think that's a great deal for them. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Microsoft would even do that because it seems almost like throwing them a bone to keep them in business. But maybe they are pushing those consoles more, so maybe it's helping them with sales and like getting people into the Xbox ecosystem and stuff like that. So I don't know all the details, but it seems like they're trying something, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
kind of clever. Like
Yeah.
whatever deal is being done there, something is happening, and maybe it's enough to save them. I highly doubt it, but because I really don't think we'll see GameStop for much longer. So
For much longer, yeah. For That's funny. It's like they come over and you're like, "Hey, I really want a PS5," and they're like, "Oh well, have you heard of the Xbox Series X?"
sir,
You're
I
like,
just wanted a PS5. Come on.
"No,
Well,
well, hold on now. We don't have any more in the back, actually. In fact, we don't. We do have several Series X. No, that's interesting. They did that, and it's so funny because you think Microsoft would be the last people to do that in some ways because they're like, we're the ones putting you out of business, the Game
oh
Pass.
yeah, yeah.
But, but we're gonna throw you a bone. Something that I thought about thinking about this question is, let's make physical copies cool again. Like, what happened?
Oh
Like,
yeah, you're
there
right.
was a time, dude. There was a time where I was like, I liked seeing a really cool, well-made, like case with a freaking nice pamphlet. Like Halo 2 had the metal cases, I remember, and you would open that bad boy up and it had like cool like instruction manuals. You'd learn about all the freaking aliens and all that crap. Like, I feel like we've lost the manuals. I understand recycling purposes. Whatever. It's green. I get it. But hear me out. What about not being green and being cool?
Oh,
The
oh,
cool
Devin.
kids do it. The bad
The
boys.
bad man pajamas. See, that's how you sell it. You sell it by being a rebel.
Bad.
You're like, we don't
Yeah.
care about the earth, and that's
Some
how.
cigarette.
Oh yeah, you're out there just smoking a big old stogie. I like it, dude.
Big old light in those pamphlets up, those little well, I can't even think of the words, instruction manuals. Yeah, dude. I think you just need to make it exciting again. Like make it cool again. There are some companies that do that. But they're like limited runs. I'd like to see or be like when I buy a Switch game, when like I bought Luigi's Mansion, dude. It's the stupid little cart in there, and you're like,
So much
okay,
wasted space.
yeah, it's just this
There's nothing.
nothing.
There's nothing. It's just
There's
a little
nothing.
cart. And
Yeah,
honestly, I'm with you. And it's been that way for a long time now, where it's like there's no manual. There's nothing. And I just like
yeah,
it would be cool if there was some kind of like art book or there was something. I don't know if that would be enough to still pull me in or not,
yeah,
but I think it would at least for collectors and people that want that. I think it would drive them more towards that type of stuff.
yeah. The other thing I was thinking is offering like in-game incentives. So like if you bought it from GameStop, you're getting like multiplayer from Call of Duty, like a special multiplayer mode from Call of Duty, similar to what PlayStation 4 does or
Hmm.
Xbox does, taking like little chunks for them, being like, okay, if you buy from GameStop, you get this cool thing that's special to us. That's why you want to buy this here. That's the only things I can think other than game nights and doing like
Sure.
community
Yeah.
things. But yeah, man, they're in a tough spot. It's in a rough space. It's the COVID. It's not the COVID. I mean, just a poor
I mean,
time.
it's
Re-
everything for that poor company.
I like that Reggie came in to help, but it was like right when COVID happened. It was like, okay, well,
JK.
God wants you to die, so it's time for
Whoa.
you to die.
Yeah. Say it how it is, man.
God or whatever you pray to
Yep.
is going to take you down.
GameStop gods.
Yeah, the GameStop gods have spoken. Uh, Bedhead asks, why did Bethesda decide to go digital on the Switch version of Doom Eternal? So if you haven't heard the news, people's GameStop pre-orders of Doom Eternal started just they would just call people up and be like, yeah, it ain't happening, man, this thing's over. It's canceled. And everyone's like, oh shiz, there's no Doom Eternal. No, there is Doom Eternal. Apparently it's working just fine.
Sure.
It's going just fine, although it's been like a year. It's going fine. So it's supposed to be coming only digital now. That's what Bethesda says. They also say to stay tuned, which means stay tuned within the month or so. So, which also means we're getting news soon.
Stay tuned.
And
It's
most likely,
streaming only.
and there it is, Trev. That's the answer that I was wondering. Is it a streaming only game?
That would
Did they
suck.
not make it?
That would
Yeah,
suck for people that
would
really
suck.
want to play this game. I mean, like, you and I were talking about how cool Control actually played through their streaming
Yeah.
stuff. You know, it was impressive.
Yeah.
I think they set the precedent with the other Doom game, like, and their other, like, Wolfenstein and stuff like that. Like, hey, we're going to have a special port that will work on this. You don't have to be online. You don't have to, it just runs. And it runs on the Switch natively, stuff like that. I don't think it's the prettiest. I think it's the worst way to play any of these id software games.
It's not just the blurriness. That controller is outrageous for first-person shooters. It is disgusting. And I'm just talking about the Joy-Con. I'm not talking about that Pro one. That's fine. But man, those Joy-Con,
the throw on those,
that nubby nub has nothing to move, baby.
Nope.
Boof, boof, boof.
I'm all over just trying to like, try to hit
trying to get the aim right, dude.
Yeah, I could totally see them going like, hey, you know what, like, porting these things over to this console, you guys, come on, man, get on my level. This is hard. This is tough to get this running on this little like mobile processor. Like it's tough, So I could totally see them being like, you guys, this is too much work. We're gonna just, hey, if you want to play it on Switch, you stream it, or hey, go play it on a different console because it is on everything else. So
I'm having a feeling that it might be streaming. Although, what have they been working for like a year on? That's my only thing.
They haven't.
I could see that. They're just like, they're faking it the whole time. They're like, yeah.
Well, dude, maybe they've been trying and it's too damn hard. Maybe it's too much. Like maybe they're just like, you guys expect too much to run on this little console. Come on.
Yeah,
you know what? No. It's going to come out, and what it's going to be, it's just going to be a cell shaded, like very cartoony looking. Yeah, and it's going to be a very exclusive, it's going to be like same gameplay and everything, but it's like almost just cartoon art style. I'm in.
Oh man, I had a vision, Trev. What if? Now let me hit you with this big number. What if it comes out in December and then it stops coming on March 2021?
So it's like a little exclusive, kind of like Super Mario World All Star or whatever, 3D.
A little play, just a little fun,
just a little tease.
Just a little tease. You get your months.
You know what? Maybe Nintendo knows something that we don't. Maybe
dude.
They know the end of the world is next year in March.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we're like, hey, we're gonna stop all our big titles. We're gonna make them exclusive for a limited time because we know that no one's gonna be able to play this crap anyways.
That's when the Mario nuke that they've been slowly creating over the years come to Washington headquarters and land right on us all. Ooh, can't wait. Miyamoto.
Oh boy.
We feel, dude, we know what you're doing. We know we're on your game.
Yeah.
Oh, dirty. Yeah, very weird. This whole Doom Eternal thing is weird. Also good news though is you can play the better Doom on your Switch now because Doom Eternal is worse than the original. I said it. You're welcome.
Ooh, hot take, Dev.
I played it, and that game is too hard, even on normal mode. That game
is it really?
It is hard, dude. That game is. It's like too hard. Like it's unfun hard. Doom, similar to a Dynasty Warrior games, made you feel like you were an effing god, Rockstar, slamming, punching over and over the one. This one, I feel like a wuss.
Really?
And I'm playing on normal, dude, and I'm pretty good at shooters. I just feel like it's just not for me.
It's a little much,
it doesn't give me that god complex that I like from my Doom games. I understand.
Also, it has like a lot of platforming and stuff, right? Like, is that any good or is it? It's all right.
It's all right. It's average.
Cool.
It's not worth it. Smashing your hands into walls, it's too much.
I watched a video and he really smashes his hands into those walls, dude. Like
he really does. He just pounding that pavement. Yeah. Trev, that's great. Thanks everyone for those questions. Loving that. Let's get into our final recommendations as to where we give something awesome to check out in video games or otherwise. Trev, what is your recommendation this week?
Oh yeah, dude. So I'm gonna get on a little soapbox, a little lovey train. You know what I mean?
Lovey-dub.
Let's play some reggae. Let's get some One Love up in here. No, I think this year has been so crazy, so weird, so strange. Like from all avenues, like whether it be election focus here in the United States, whether it be COVID, whether it be people losing jobs, losing loved ones, like just so much craziness going on, that sometimes I think a lot of us, and I've been there too, we've been in kind of a funk, kind of a grumpy funk a little
Yeah.
bit. And
Yeah.
I think get out there and show some gratitude to someone that is special, means something to you, like you, Devin. You mean a lot to
Thank
me,
you, man.
brother.
Oh,
And
thank you.
spread some love. Tell someone that you really appreciate them. Try to brighten their day. Do something small, just a little act of kindness, something
Yeah.
to bring some joy to someone that is struggling right now, because it is tough out there, and I feel bad for those that are really struggling. But my little moment of gratitude, Dev, is for you. You and I have been buddies forever. And then there's this moment where we kind of like disconnected for, like
Yeah,
seriously, like
for a
8
bit.
years or so.
Yeah.
And is when we, kind of got older and stuff like that. And I am grateful for doing this show with you each week. You and I get together and rekindle that friendship, that fun that we had growing up. And I really appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, dude, me too. It's like super fun. Like this podcast is super awesome because we get to like be buddies again and
Yep.
chill out
It's
and
the
have a
best.
moment together. And it's really great because we had like, yeah, a super rock solid relationship. And then, you just get old
Mm-hmm.
and things just happen and you just, life, you make excuses and it's just good to have something to like chill out and have fun with my old buddy.
Oh, yeah.
So I dig it. Thanks for the gratitude of the
Yeah,
moment.
buddy.
I'm also in the same place because good heck, my recommendation is we got to focus on the good. 2020 has been a real shiz show. And I'm sorry, everybody, but we keep talking about it over and again. What was that stupid, well, awful book that was by a cultist? You put it out there, and then the world brings it back to you. We're gonna put out some good, and we're gonna get some good back. We're throwing out too much hate. We're throwing out too much bad things through 2020. I get it. It's bad. There's some bad moments, but overall, I'm sure there's some good things in your life. So let's focus more on the good stuff. I'm done with the 2020 jokes. I'm done with the 2020. Let's just enjoy the last month of 2020 is going to be sick. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
It
The
is.
best, greatest, powerful, amazing. All of that beautiful stuff. So yeah, I want some positivity too. I want 2020 to be a little more positive. Let's end it out right. Let's do it right here. So that's it for the Nintendo show. Let's end this show. Thank you everyone for listening. We really appreciate it. Again, nintendoshow.com. Follow us on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, any podcast service of your choice. Be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTubes, on your podcast thing. Be like, yeah, Devin and Trevor, the best. Woohoo. And also, we're making some changes. The Nintendo show will be thrown under the giant umbrella, which is coming. The big behemoth that is coming, which is Weekly Recharge. Weekly Recharge will be our main YouTube channel here soon. We'll still throw things on the Nintendo show, and we'll still have a separate Nintendo show podcast. Nothing really will change too much. You'll still have your separate stuff if that's how you get it. But if you want to find us in another way, Weekly Recharge will be the main umbrella, and the Nintendo show is going to fit right into there. Weekly Recharge is going to be airing this week. We're finally going to be doing that. We'll let you know on Facebook what's going on there. And it's going to be really fun. It's going to be an awesome show. It's going to be a shorter show, and it's going to be about frickin' Xbox and PlayStation and PC. The other guys, not little awesome Nintendo. So if you're into the other stuff, the other video game stuff, please check us out there at Weekly Recharge. That will be happening this week. That's it. Thank you for everything. You're awesome. We will see you next week. Bye.
Awesome.